G'day guys, Scott from FatB Trader here. Just want to bring you a quick update on the euro dollar, US dollar, the yen pairs and the Aussie dollar, US dollar. So first of all, we've got the euro dollar, US dollar. So we had a successful repair trade last night on that position. Obviously we're only targeting the daily pivot because it was my aim to get out of this position prior to the ECB craziness. And it was we're lucky enough to be successful getting out of that position. Again, see the prior videos if you want to get a bit more information about that. But at the end of the day, yep, we could have left it in there because I think you'll see towards the end of the video that I was moving my limits up, and we actually got tagged a little bit higher than we had originally anticipated. We were originally going for around this level here. Our break-even point was about here, so we made a little bit. We made a little bit more because I was able to move my limits. But end of the day, I was happy with that. I didn't really want to be involved in all that rubbish. So you can see what's happened. It's really come up. It's gone nutso overnight in the London US combined session, but after London's closed, it's really just sort of fallen away and done nothing. So what we're looking at here is we're looking for trades basically off this level, this 123.50 or 123.60 level. You've got the pivot in here. Let me just zoom in a little bit better. Sorry, I'll take this off so we can actually get some scale onto here. That's not very good, is it? Okay, so basically we're looking for trades pretty much off the pivot zone. It's too close to do a towards the pivot trade. It's only about 10 points. Once you factor in commission and spread, it's not really worth doing. So basically what I'm looking at here is essentially a buy, and I'll see if the screen pen's going to work. So I'm looking at it coming down here and then basically bouncing upwards. Now again, we've got a pretty good place we could put a stop. We could put it under here, though every man and their dog is going to have a stop under there. So you might want to reconsider that and possibly even have a stop under this level here, and reduce your position size. It's one of those things. It's a bit of a personal call. You're gonna have to look at what your risk reward is. This is the best stop. This is the best option here. Oh boy, that's terrible writing. Best. So this is the best option here because it's you're gonna get stopped out quicker. But obviously you need to look at where you're targeting up here, and if you're thinking now that this is actually probably going to retrace a little bit, maybe up to the 125 level, I think you're probably right. I think we'll probably get a bit of a relief rally in the euro now that the ECB sort of said they're not going to do anything at this stage, not going to do any quantitative easing. It's still a bearish trend. It's still, I think it's still going down, and it will go down, and I sort of have a target of 120 in the longer term, but we need to look at what price action is telling us, and right now it's telling us we are in for a little bit of a higher, some higher highs basically. So or at least some higher lows, and we want to take advantage of that, moving back to the center of the range. So that's what I'm thinking at this stage. So basically looking to buy, take this off, take the screen drawer off, looking to buy down here somewhere. Hopefully to get back to the pivot, we'll be able to take a trade right on that, and basically target up here. Now that is approximately, if we get it around there, it's maybe 40 pips, which is pretty good. So it's about $1,000 to the upside. So that's not bad. And the downside, looking at this, if we take that first one, it's about a $500 downside. If we take the second one, it's basically 1-to-1. So not as good, but technically not terrible either, given that we know we've got a 65 or 67% win ratio overall. So not such a bad thing. Moving on to the US dollar Japanese yen, this is getting pretty close. It's hit its 120 It continues pushing higher just on the back of US dollar strength. Have a look at the US dollar. It had a bit of a stumble last night, but it's come down, hit that level of support, and kept going, which is pretty much the same sort of thing that the US dollar Japanese yen has done. So if you're able to buy into that last night in the craziness here, the ECB craziness, good stuff. You've got a good trade. Just hold on to that for a while. I think we're up about 100 and what are we? There you go, 207 points. So we're up a fair bit on that particular trade. Been holding that for about the last, what do we got? Basically last week. Right, so we're not doing anything new on that at this stage. If it moves back to the 120 level, you could look at adding with stops below, or if it moves back to the 119.80 level, you could look at adding. Don't forget we have the NFP today, so that's going to be interesting. There'll always be quite a bit of volatility expected around that event, so I'm anticipating, particularly with the Euro trade, that we'll have that close down before NFP occurs. That's my plan anyway. It may not eventuate, but we'll just see how all that goes. So Aussie dollar, US dollar, we're looking for a short on this. Again, I'll bust out the screen drawer. So we're looking for it to come up to around this level here and then continue on down. So if we can get a sell in this zone here, potentially stops up around this level, that's a pretty reasonable trade. And I think honestly you want to be targeting that 83.50 level to start with. That's a 1-to-1. I probably wouldn't want to give it too much room just because it can be so spiky. It can be really volatile for commodity based reasons we generally don't look at. So just keep that in mind. Keep your risk fairly tight. Right, so that's pretty much it for now, guys. So to sort of sum up, we're looking for a trade on the Euro US dollar, looking for a buy on 123.70. So I'll just write that there, 1.2370, and we're targeting 1.23415. So we're targeting up here. Yep, cool. And you could have your stop down here basically, or down here, depending on what your risk tolerance is like. That's the only trade we've got at the moment. You can add to your yen trades, and potentially there's a short if the Aussie gets back up to 83, 89. You can take a longer term short. Alright guys, that's it for now. I hope that all makes sense. If you've got any questions, you can tweet me at FatBTrader. Otherwise, till next time, trade well.